Hey, it's Wednesday, everybody, and it is time for your edition of the ggNews. This week, we've been talking to a lot of different people, a lot of great topics, but today we want to touch on building an esports community with Dan Artt from Pure Esports in Gilbert, Arizona. So, yeah, today's topic is we're talking about esports communities, and one of the ones that I've noticed on social media lately is Pure Esports from Gilbert, Arizona. So joining me today is Dan Artt, CEO and owner and founder of Pure Esports. Dan, welcome to the show.
Hey, J-Mac. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So you guys are fairly new. Are you closing in on your 1 year anniversary?
Not quite yet. We've been open we're on our 8th month.
Okay.
But 1 year ago, I did leave my day job and haven't looked back.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. That's always a scary step to take. So tell me a little bit about the process you went through in opening your store and how that experience went.
Yeah, wonderful. About a year and a half ago, we started writing a business plan. My partner, who is my father just retired, and I was looking at following my passion, so to speak. And we wrote a nice little business plan and got some funding, and we didn't really know what to do or where to start. So I came across ggCircuit literally from your YouTube videos where you're helping educate the perhaps land center building community on things to know and what you should, be interested in when you're thinking about this stuff. So we got a hold of you guys, and you were our first call. And I remember that 2-hour call with Zach like it was yesterday. And, the rest is history. You guys helped us with build out, server setup. Networking was wonderful. Poor Winger, man, hours and hours and hours and hours, but he got it. And literally couldn't have done it without your help and support.
Well, you're kind of in a hotbed of esports locations in the Phoenix area, and being a new location. Well, I mean, I would say a lot of them in that area are fairly new, within 1 year or less. What does it take as a new center to drive players into your store?
Yeah, Phoenix is blowing up. I think we're one of 4, maybe 5 now land centers, and now Phoenix is big. So there is still some space in between us. But when we started out, and something that I'm very passionate about, and kind of our marketing strategy as well, is that we wanted to become truly an esports hub. We didn't want to just be, the next internet cafe or just a kind of land center station rental. We wanted to truly classify ourselves as an event center. So what we did to get our brand out, to create our brand awareness, is creating events right from the get-go. For our first 3 months, we ran a free tournament every single weekend in a different esports title, just to let the community know that there is competition in the area, that I'm not just stuck on my couch, that there is something more beyond my house that I can be involved in like any other team sport out there. And so that's been great for us. And then we started, charging for our events ever since. And we haven't stopped running 2 events every week. We have scrims every week, and then we have a different tournament every single Saturday. And then we mix in events with other groups that kind of just want to be involved in esports.
Yeah, and I just got off of a call with someone else talking about the modern day esports location. And we've mentioned this in our videos before, and it's not enough just to open up, have PCs in your location, and fingers crossed, hope that people play.
Right.
However, on the flip side of that, having staff and having welcoming competitive teams can be a bit daunting in regards to game setup, staff available, making sure that you've got your rule set down, making sure that you've got TOs. Tell me about that process, and at the end of the day, is it worth it?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And there's some of these games that are a lot of work. For example, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, CSGO. We had to literally build our own Linux servers in-house just so we can give these guys the feeling that they would expect in any kind of competitive environment, where Valve servers only run at 60 something tick. We want to create a 128 tick server so they can truly feel like they're in a competition. So we invested time in that build out, and let alone the event itself runs 14 hours. We run group stages, a quarter, semis, and finals. So it's a lot of work. I'm here 16 hours for that day. But I think the benefit of that is that we cornered this community that otherwise does not have an outlet, a physical outlet for themselves. They otherwise just play online. They do 10-mans, every night. But this gives them once a month. It gives them the chance to see each other face to face, and they love coming out on CS:GO days. And so it's a lot of work, but I'm locating a paying community that I can grow with. Now that I know we have a CS:GO community, what more could we do? That could we turn that into a league, something more ongoing? So yes, there are a lot of work, but I think it's great marketing. For example, to let the community know that there are tournaments, we boost every single one of our ads, and I think that not only just allows us to get registrants for that tournament or people to register up, but it also lets people that otherwise don't know about us that there are tournaments here at Pure Esports. So that's our marketing strategy. We create an awesome flyer and we boost that baby on all the medias.
Right. So from your perspective in focusing on events, what are some of the benefits that come out of that? So let's say you've got 10 teams that come in for a CS:GO event. What are some of the follow-ups that happen after that tournament that help drive more people into the location, would you say? So, I'm talking more about, what can you take from those tournaments and put into your marketing, put into your events, around your social media or marketing efforts?
Yeah, I think one thing, and the example I use is poker. So let's say the casino down the way holds a free tournament. Why would they hold a free tournament? How does that help the casino? Well, it's the guys that get knocked out and play cash games. It's the guys that maybe want to buy time either before or after. When we do our CS:GO events, a week leading up to that event, we have all the teams are just trickling in and just to get that next to each other kind of group team play where they otherwise wouldn't get at home. They're practicing for the upcoming LAN, and I think that's very exciting. We'll see most teams come in at some point before the tournament to buy regular time. And I think that not only does it, like I mentioned before, drive that kind of esports hub environment mentality, that excitement, that hype, that esports is growing and I want to be a part of it, but it also gets these guys in the door wanting to practice more as a team instead of it just being an individual activity at home.
Yeah. And, we've talked about how esports has really started from the top down, where a lot of focus right now is on the pros. But now we're starting to see a lot of colleges get involved. We're starting to see a lot of high schools get involved. And, and we had talked about this a little bit before the call, but, a lot of locations struggle with getting people in beyond Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah.
So how are you reaching out to those amateur groups through Pure Esports?
Yeah, I mean, that's a awesome question. I'll never forget Zach's analogy from our first call together that this is the movie theater business. You're making all your money on the weekends. Make sure you have that utilization potential on the weekends, and there's not much going on during the week. So, what we're doing in Arizona specifically, the high schools or the AIA, the Arizona Interscholastic Association, just announced that Arizona specifically, esports is now an official school activity. So just like football or soccer, these high schools can compete for state championships and trophies and clout just across their high schools like any other sport. So that's very exciting. Now, that was just announced last year. So the high schools are still kind of slow going and trying to get organized and engaging interest. But that's been kind of one of our strategies is attacking these high schools from all angles. In fact, I watched the interview you did yesterday with parent or grandma's basement.
Yeah,
and
your parents' basement. Yeah.
Yeah, not your parents, not your grandma's basement. And he had a great strategy. It sounds like he's already accomplished what we're really trying to do here. And we've captured some interest. Some schools are more organized than others, and they truly don't even have experience practicing together. So, we're offering our venue as an environment for them to come in and have their coach right behind their shoulder. But I think that getting, everybody works, everybody goes to school during the week, so it's tough. But having those, whether it's after school programs or some sort of content to give those guys a reason to come in a little bit earlier in the week is what we're focused on through the high schools and the colleges. Because not every high school is going to be able to afford to build their own LAN center, in-house. Same with the colleges. So they truly need an outlet to practice and compete and scrim, and not just on Discord, but physically together. And that's what we're trying to do here in Gilbert.
So besides events and casual play, as a new business owner, what are some other focuses that you have in your store to create a great community?
Yeah. Awesome question. So I'm here 60, 70 hours a week. I run the store. We have 3 staff members. They're all part-time and all college kids. A couple of things that were important to our environment is, number one, cleanliness, keeping your LAN center clean. My employees hate me for it, but there's things that need to be done in the morning. There's things that if you have downtime need to be accomplished. And there's things that need to be done, before we close at night. And keeping that clean LAN center, I think, makes people want to come back. And it helps parents understand that this is, there's not just a guy sleeping in the corner over there and who knows what he's really doing. It's a family-friendly environment that's clean and really for everybody. That's very important to us. I think finding the right staff is probably very difficult for a lot of folks, but so important on creating that atmosphere. You almost want to hire people that are almost like salespeople that are engaging with every single customer that comes in and getting them excited about something and having that talk off with them, I think is so important. So we've been lucky of hiring a few 2 guys and a gal that have those personalities. I think help people, want to come back because there is that sense of gamer and like-minded community outside of their home and, in a public place where they can call kind of their hangout and feel comfortable and feel confident.
Yeah, couple prongs off of that, just coming off of your answer. If you find great staff members, just like your customers, treat them like gold because they are so hard to find. The other prong is that, as this is for any new esports owner, is that when you are interviewing people, in my opinion, don't just hire gamers. Because if they just want to be there because it's a gaming environment, handing them a toilet brush isn't one of their favorite things. So make sure that not only they love the gaming, but they're passionate about helping your organization, because a lot of times it's hard to find those people because they're not as invested as you are in providing a great experience. They just love the gaming and want to be a part of the gaming. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Dan, Artt, Pure Esports, Gilbert, Arizona, thank you for joining me today. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, Jay, man. See you soon.
Bye-bye.